124. Awesome. Well, we recorded this a few weeks ago, before Black Lives Matter protests had started, before George Floyd, when we were in the thick of the pandemic only. And we were talking about quarantine, about kids sleeping all day, about a UTI, about Christina's line of skincare, and about all kind of stuff. Those of you who've seen her on here before, we can talk. She and I can talk forever about nothing. So this is a good conversation where we're talking about more than nothing, about her businesses and how they're affected by COVID and how she plans on getting through this time and still be a business owner. And so I think it's a really good conversation. At the end, we talk about her skincare line, and she has since sent me all of her skincare, and we're going to do a podcast about that later too. I'm really glad we had the podcast we did last week. So many people have reached out and said, thank you for doing that podcast. And, I'm just a regular person. I'm not anybody, super special in that I'm not a leader. I'm not a spiritual leader. I'm just a regular person. And I think so is Christina. So for us to have just had two regular people talking about something really intense was kind of scary to me in this sort of public forum. Even though I am no Oprah, I don't have millions and millions of people listening. I was very nervous that people would misconstrue my intention or that I would say something wrong. And I think it went okay. And so far, everyone who's emailed me about that podcast has said they were grateful we had that conversation. So thank you for letting me know that, because I thought it was a good conversation, but lately I feel like my barometer may be off somehow with what's right or wrong. So thanks to everybody who reached out and said, thank you for having that conversation. The only way we can move forward really is to be able to have conversations where we're not afraid to say what we really feel and know the person's intention is only good. And that was my intention in that whole podcast last week, was just good. So I hope you enjoyed this conversation, which happened before last week's. And maybe you can learn something, or at least get a good laugh. Maybe we could all use a good laugh. Take an hour off everything that's intense, or an hour and a half, however long it is, because there's a lot of things that are intense. So thanks for coming back every week. Thanks for going online and looking at our merch and purchasing some merch if you want to. I appreciate it. And please share this podcast if you know somebody who you think would enjoy it. I hope every person is well and safe and happy. So thank you for listening. This is me and Christina Rumbley Stratton shooting the shit about lots of things.
You mean you didn't want to see up inside the nostrils?
Why not?
I mean, it's so hot. I'm going to not touch up the appearance. Can we? Yeah, that's much better. The new touch up my appearance, and you look like a freaking Avatar weirdo. It's smooth and it's strange. It's like, nothing about that's cute. You're not looking younger. You just look ridiculous.
Wait, there's a button where you can say touch up?
Oh, yeah.
About? There is?
If you go to the bottom where it says stop video and you can click on the arrow. Yeah. Go to video settings and it'll have
virtual. Oh my God.
Yes. And that means it's basically smooth.
Touch up my appearance.
Smooth this shit.
Can it take care of this bag right here?
Listen, let me tell you something about that. Let me tell you something all about that. Hold on. I do this constantly. I'm like, oh my God, what is that? What would that feel like if I could actually see, like with my big ass eyes? And I'm like, and then I go like this, and it stays. Oh my God.
Too. My mother had her eyes done when she was in her 30s because we have this hood, and it just keeps going like
hood. Yes, and then they say you can do it.
It makes you look mad.
It makes you look surprised all the time.
Well, when you have it done, but before you have it done, you just look like this.
You look like a Shar-Pei.
Just angry.
Hold on, let me shut this door. I got all the stuff so no one can hear me. And I got to get my beverage. It's too early to drink, I guess.
I know. It's a little early. For me, it's earlier for me than for you.
Yeah. For a second, I'm 3 hours ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, girl.
Tell me about it. Well, you look good.
Well, only for you, because I haven't done this. First of all, trying. And I haven't done this in about 8 weeks and counting. Yeah.
Why would you? No need.
No need. I mean, my husband maybe, but no, he gets what he gets. This is all he gets.
He's all natural. He's in love with all natural.
That's right. Okay, Halston, hold on. I'm putting this up on something so you guys don't see the chins constantly. Okay.
What chins? You don't have any chins.
Oh, really? I don't? It's so funny. Hold on.
If you go like this, everybody. What? If you go like that,
the best
chin.
Yeah, I always get the random shot from someone. They're like, a picture with friends, and they'll like show a random shot, and I'm always either like this, like, and bent over, or I'm like this. Or I'm like doing the ugliest face, and I'm like, why did you tag me in that fucking picture?
I know.
I have fans, okay? I can't be looking like that. No.
I'm the same way. I laugh. I look so ugly when I laugh.
Me too.
I do the same. I go, ha! And then I look like I'm having a seizure. It's so bad. And that's the same.
Pause it.
Yep.
It's the screenshot. Fucking stupid. People are ridiculous. I can't. Oh, look. Doug sent me a little text with a little hearts.
Oh, Dougie Fresh. How's Dougie Fresh doing?
He's good. We're Jesus Christ. We are in this like frozen in time. But we're not. It's like being frozen and in hell. So you're frozen, but you're in hell at the same time. Yet you're not hot. You're in hell. So he is. His business is actually doing okay because he does interior design. So he's doing okay. But I keep telling him like, just be grateful for what you got because he's such an artist. Such a tortured artist. So he gets this, we call it a whale, right? When you get a big, it's like Netflix, right? It's like you got the whale.
Yeah.
He got a big client recently, but Doug, there's always a problem. They're always difficult. They're always this. They don't trust him. Why can't they just let me do what I do? I'm like, because it's their money, it's their house, and they go, shit. They can't do what you do, but they think they can. Like, I have to talk him off the ledge with this stuff all the time. And he's just like, I mean, they can see what I can do. Can I just, I'm like, so you just want someone to come in and be like this? Oh my God, you're amazing. You're so great. Here's a check. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to basically just build your own shit.
Yeah, right?
No one's going to do that.
You want a client that doesn't exist. That client doesn't exist.
No. I said, okay. So if the constant is they're always a pain in the ass, they never trust you because they always think they know better. Or they try to finagle more money over here, whatever. They try to find that light fixture for cheaper. Who's the constant?
Right? Only one. There's only one.
Can't have those conversations. They get a little too hairy. So he's doing fine. He's working. I'm the one who's like, my whole world, March 15th, literally everything went boop and paused. All the spas had to close down. 220 massage therapists, estheticians, front desk people furloughed. I mean, it was like, and then we had some that we kept and had to trickle down. And it was just like hotels shut down. They were down. We were watching it trickle off where guests were canceling and skincare company, the only company that I have right now that's even, we call it every bean fills a sack. That's where we're at, is the skincare company is selling at least something online, enough to at least pay the two women who are furloughed to a degree, working this many hours, but easily. I mean, 85% of the income's gone and no income for the spas, zero. So it's crazy. It's insane.
What do
I do? Literally want to murder everyone around me all day long. Not kidding. There's a high level of murder. You know what I mean? I have to tell you. That's why I wore this, so I could just show you what it feels like. I mean, truth and joking. But Alana and I were talking about this, my business partner. We were talking about how we feel. We worked like we just started our company again. And that's when you had energy. It's like being a parent. When you're newly a parent, you don't know what you don't know. You know your life before it. Man, you're exhausted. But you have the baby. And it's the baby. And you have this love. Okay, when you start your company, you're like fired up. 100 hours? In my sleep, I could do this. When you're 46 and you're going on 15 years of it, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
What? You have to reinvent. The word pivot and unprecedented have been used over the past 2 months in my vocabulary, like every day.
Yeah.
Well, we have to pivot and rechange. This is unprecedented. I said, oh my God, if I just say that. But it's the truth. It really is. How do you become a completely different kind of company overnight, still providing the same type of services, and have your staff looking to you while they're at home, majority making more than they ever made with you on unemployment till July 25th, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to come back?
Yeah.
I wouldn't either. I'd be like, oh, I was a front desk person. I was a spot attendant. I was making, I worked 15 hours, 20 hours per time a week. And I was making, suck it. We're just going to have this weird thing. August, September, I think is when most businesses are going to go, this is the real hard time. Because right now everyone's in this. And then, you're dealing with California, my 2 spots in California. It's just like crickets. We don't know what's going to happen. Are we phase 4? Are we equivalent to freaking the Dodger Stadium? You shitting me? Like I have a $60,000 purchase order to have to buy personal protective equipment. Like we're freaking Mad Max shit. Like we've got to put face shields on and masks, and are they going to wear gloves in a massage? And they 6 feet apart. How do you massage someone 6 feet apart?
It's challenging.
With a rake and a broom. It's just crazy. There's an element, and it's hard too, because in our household, our daughter is she's 15 and she's very liberal, and my husband is not, and I'm more moderate. I kind of we talked about this. I sit kind of more in the middle. I'm more, I lean more fiscally, more capitalistic, and then I lean more democratic when it comes to social things. So, but man, 8 weeks in quarantine with these two fuckers, literally. Okay, I think I want coronavirus. Here's me.
Right.
Somebody who has it, I need you to spit in my mouth. Somebody, because I need to get away from you. I mean, that's not funny, but it really was how I felt one day. I was just like, if the two of you cannot sit and eat a sandwich together without getting into it about some bullshit that none of you have control over,
right?
I'm going to leave the two of you to the wolves. You're done.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys are handling it, having everyone at home all at once. I'd love to hear about that. How's that going?
It's actually not bad. I am pleasantly surprised. I thought that Bert and I would have killed each other by now, but we really haven't. I had a couple of days, probably a month ago, where I was like, I'm kind of done, but we never had an argument. And then a couple of days ago, Bert was that way, and Bert was blaming me, saying I was being that way when he was actually the one being that way. And we're in the pool. And it said something really shitty to me. And Isla's sitting right outside the pool, and Bert and I are in the pool, and he said something really shitty. And I went, hold on, let me just tell you that I don't like that. Like, don't do that to me. Don't talk to me like that.
Right.
And he goes, okay, I get it. And I went, no, I don't think you get it, because you do this and this example. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Right.
But this example and this example. And he goes, enough. And I went, oh, let me ask you something. If you were telling me something that you were really feeling and really emotional about, and I went, enough, what would your reaction be? And he literally just
Give you this.
In the pool. He went like this, pool underwater, like a child. And he came back up like this. And I went,
Kilroy.
Enough. And he kept sinking. And Isla and I just kept going. Every time he'd talk, we'd go, enough. And then it snapped him out of that funky mood, because he was like, wait a minute. I think I'm the asshole in the room. I think it's been me. It's not her.
He's so good at that, though. He is good. He is good at seeing himself when he's not, like when he's not in it. Like Doug, my husband doesn't do any of this. No, he does the opposite. If I went, okay, let's just play that scenario. If I said, hey, listen, I really don't like that. He'd be like this. Oh God, really? Oh, oh. I remember one time I said something, he was like, okay, stop the psycho babble bullshit.
Psycho babble bullshit.
And I went like, okay. All right. Some of us need that, don't we? We need a little bit of psycho babble bullshit because somebody's psycho and needs to be told, and that's through babbling bullshit to the psycho. I mean,
the psycho has a bunch of bullshit, right?
Maybe this is all for you because you can't see. Yeah, I've had to say that to him before. Like I said one time, I go, if I said to you what you said to me, this would be a no. We wouldn't be sitting here. It'd be over because you wouldn't put up with that shit. He's already told me. Like if I talk to him, or my mom talks to my stepdad or something, he was like, that's a hard out. That's a no. That's a never gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, come on. I mean, like a little chihuahua. He was like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I said, well, I don't do that. I don't bark. You know what I'm saying? I'll bite. I don't bark. I'm not a little nag. Now, I've heard men say that, well, my wife was asking about the trash and this. I'm like, is that a nag? Or was she just saying, hey, you're going to take it out? Because if you don't, I will. But I thought we kind of had this unspoken deal. I do this, you do that. We don't have to talk about it. So why don't you do your shit? Because I continue to my shit. Is that a nag? Or I'm just pointing out some relevant facts.
Right. So, but they hear it as a nag, no matter how you deliver it.
Yeah. And I told him that. I said, when does a nag become the reality check? Like, is it just because I'm a chick, it's a nag? If it was a guy, would it be a nag? Or if it was a guy, would it just be, oh, dude, sorry? Like, what? When does it?
But when do you take responsibility for the fact that you didn't do what you said you were going to do, instead of making it my fault for complaining about you not doing what you said you're going to do?
Deflection. It's like a freaking Mortal Kombat.
Enough.
I love that. I might have to use that.
Asshole. Enough. When he did that, I was like, okay.
With the finger. And you're so calm and chilled. I could see you being like, I could see the Georgian Southern girl being like this. Did he?
I know, right?
Did he?
I did. I was like, oh no, he didn't. Oh no, he didn't.
You turned into like, all right, 2 snaps, and you are not gonna shush me with a finger.
Right?
Yeah, you married the wrong bitch.
Right? No.
You turned into Housewives of Atlanta real quick.
Well, I did though go very calm and go, just let me ask you a question.
Yeah, see?
If you did that, if I did that to you, what would you do? Instead of being like, what the fuck? And blowing up. Which is what I wanted to do inside my body.
Well, but you know what that does. Boop, 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 and you got quarantine.
No,
he nowhere to go.
anytime I escalate, he escalates his victim. Right? Oh, yeah. So if I say, this pisses me off, he'll go, well, this is why I'm victimized by you being pissed off. So I can never go that route. And I want to so badly. To just fucking light him up. To just go, not like a chihuahua, more like a Rottweiler.
That's right.
Let me just rip you apart. And I can't do it because then he's victimized by the ripping apart and he doesn't hear.
It's a cycle, right? It's a big old circle. And then you're like, I can't get to, and then you have to constantly be walking the line of like, well, how do I best get from them? It's like what you do when you're an employer. It's like, well, how do I get what's best for the business, what's best for them, so they can feel heard and sometimes inside you want to go, how about this? How about these apples? Shut the fuck up. Is that going to work for you? You like that?
For me.
Because I loved it.
It must have felt really good for you to say enough to me when you were here.
How'd that feel?
Want to hear? Felt great. I wish I could do that back, but I cannot.
Yes.
It would be ridiculous. He would go to the moon.
Yeah. No, it's like it would be Kawasaki. I mean, it would be really bad. It would be just an explosion. And what you're doing is going, oh, I choose happy over being right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to be happy and not be right. But sometimes it feels good to be right.
Just want to
I know. I do that with my daughter sometimes. I find that with Doug, I will pull back with him because I kind of know how that's going to roll. With Avery though, I'm just like, I'm going at it. I'm going to go right for the jugular. Not because I want to, but more because I want to show her that I can. There's something weird about it. And I notice it in myself too. Like I want her to know that I can do this. Don't ever mistake the kindness for weakness. It's a major landmine for me. Like, nah, right? Like just to let her know, like your mom's got it and you don't think you're pulling anything over this one right here. But the sad part with a kid with Asperger's is they're not trying to pull anything. They're literally saying exactly what they think is right and what they feel.
They're super literal, right? So literal.
Ad nauseum. It's so literal that sometimes you go, is that what you really heard? Because that's not what I said. I mean, that's not anything, but there's no reading in between the lines. There's no feeling how you're feeling.
Right.
Did I tell you the time? I think I did. I don't remember if I said it on this last time we were together, but I thought I had kidney stones. Like it was so bad. I thought I was either having a heart attack or something was awry. And what it was a urinary tract infection that had gone up to my kidneys. I didn't even know. Had no idea. Except all of a sudden, I was like, I don't feel too good. I was picking her up from school. She was in middle school. I'm driving her. And all of a sudden, I don't know if you've ever had a kidney infection or something, where if you take a full breath, it's sharp and feels like you're being stabbed with a knife in your kidney. But it feels like your lungs or something. So you're going like this, like you're having a baby. And I'm driving with her and I'm telling her, hey, I need to drive to this urgent care right now because I think I'm either having a heart attack or something's happening. I'm sweating. I mean, it was bad. And I'm going, and it hurts so bad to breathe. So I'm like crying. And this was when she was 13. And this is before she was diagnosed with Asperger's. I should have known then what we were dealing with because she goes, this is her. Okay, you're me. This is her driving. I go, so I'm going to have to, I've got to go. I'm like, crying. I have to go pull over. I got to get to this urgent care. I got to see what's wrong with me. And I was like, so we're not going to go home first. I mean, can't you just drop me off there first? It's like 10 minutes from home. I guess I can wait in the car, right? I can wait in the car while you go to urgent care. I'm like this. This is me. What did you just say? Are you? Hold on. Sorry. I can't take a full breath as I'm driving you. Did you just ask me if I can drop you off home because you're going to be inconvenienced? But you can't eat your fucking animal crackers when you get home? I mean, like, I remember pulling in and I was so upset at that when we got home and she still, they're deadpan. She didn't say anything like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know when they just diagnosed you with a kidney infection, had to give you a shot in your ass this big. And when you had a fever of 102, I didn't realize that was so inconsiderate of me.
Right.
No. So when we get home and I just went to her, I said, let's go to your room. And she was like, why? I don't understand. What did I do? Why are you so mad at me? I go, because your lack of empathy and your lack of being able to understand the pain that I was suffering from is so unacceptable to me at a core deep level that I physically want to harm you right now. I'm trying not to. Like I'm physically recoiling because if I don't, I'm going to come at you like a tiger and I'm going to shred your face off. So I just need you to go upstairs. But I need to have my animal crackers. I'll fucking feed you animal crackers. I'll feed them to you.
Right.
A whole bag of them and shove them in your throat. And people be like, you're such a horrible mother. No, I'm just real. Because that's how it felt. And then she's like, God, you're so violent. I've never put my hands on you like that. I'm just vocalizing so that I can get it out in the open. It was really bad. And then later she said something like, I just didn't know how serious you were. I mean, sometimes you're more dramatic. I was like, maybe I was crying. Like, I'm not making these up. Like, I have a kidney infection. I couldn't breathe. She's like, I just didn't know. Like, oh, I don't know how to teach you to read people's body language. You know, when I'm doubled over and going, like, I'm not faking it. So you can go, I wonder what's wrong with mom. It was weird. And then, of course, 2 years later, we find out, no, actually, in fact, she literally can't understand that. She doesn't see it. Yeah. Right. It was just so weird watching her go, I mean, can you drop me off at home first? I was like, can you literally have, how do I throw you out the window?
Right? Oh my God.
How did I raise this? How did I raise this?
Well, really, as you nothing you did though. It's how she's wired.
It's how she's made. Wired.
Yeah.
It is. And it can make you crazy.
So anything good come out of this quarantine?
You mean the one we're still in?
Yeah.
We're actively in. I'll be like, talk to me in like 3 weeks. Well, what is good is I did cook more. I hate cooking. And we talked about that. I have like my 2 dishes. So I did cook more. I got HelloFresh, which I love because, and I've tried the other ones, Blue Apron and other things. I didn't like it. It was too difficult. Like I don't cook. So I don't do well when they're like, I'll splash of this and that. I don't tell me how much because a splash to me. Pinch is a
keep
pinch
it simple.
that.
Yeah,
is
keep
a pinch
it simple.
that.
Right.
Is a pinch that. I don't know. And I'm very literal, funny when it comes to cooking. But I was cooking more, except the amount of dishes that I'm doing every day. You have 2 kids, but your husband cooks. So Bert's like really good cooking. And you love to cook. You're very good at cooking.
Well,
not the G. Yeah. I told you, WT. That's what I had.
The dishes.
Out of control.
I mean, I'm running the dishwasher at least 2 times a day, sometimes 3.
Yes. And no one undoes it. Everyone looks at me like, are they clean? I can't tell. I'm like, open it up.
Yeah. We had a family summit last night where everybody sat down and we were like, new normal starting Monday. Everyone's out of bed by 10. Because I don't know about your house, but my people are sleeping the day away.
My daughter sleeps until 12:30. Oh yeah, no.
I slept till 2:30 one day. I slept till 2:30. I was like, I'm just going to let her go and see how long she'll actually.
I almost did that the other day, but then I was like, no. Something about it makes me mad. Like I go 12:30. I'm a teenager. We need that. Then don't go to bed at 3 a.m.
Right.
What are you doing? Because you don't have your phone. You don't have electronics. I know.
Right.
I locked that shit down.
Right.
What are you doing? Are you staring outside? What are you doing for 3 hours in the middle of the night?
Is she drawing? What is she doing?
Yeah. Well, no, because she can't have an electronic and she draws on her iPad. Well, I don't know, but Doug got up at 5 a.m. once and he saw the light under her door and he was like, what? And he goes, she's up 5 a.m. I was like, you act like a crackhead. You're a crackhead.
Oh my God.
You're literally the kid on crack. Because nothing good happens from 12 to 5 a.m. Nothing good happens. Everything bad in life is in that window.
Right.
So what are you doing? Right? Like she was like, I'm not doing anything. I'm like, but you understand how this looks. Like if I was an outsider looking at me like, well, what is that 15-year-old doing up at 5 a.m? I'm like, you look like you're like basing. Like how can you stay up?
Right.
All day? I don't understand it. And she's like, I was reading. I was this. And I'm like, it'd be so different if she wasn't being honest because she was just reading. Yeah. Because I'm a detective and up in her butthole that I would know if she was doing anything not legit, Yeah. And thank God she isn't. Because if I had the kid, and she said that to me once, she said, I mean, just be grateful I'm a good kid. Like, I don't do anything. I'm like, because that kid would be shaved head in a military school. There would be, I don't even bring the 2 in the same frame of reference because I wouldn't have that kid. Yeah. That kid would be over somewhere else. Someone else would be raising them because you would get pulled from my house because it wouldn't work. Right? If you were the kid sneaking out and smoking crack and doing drugs or hooking up with the boys outside, I can't. Mine, I'm like, what are you doing? It's 3 a.m. What are you're not on your phone. Oh, you're reading? What are you reading? I'm thinking, what are you reading? Am I going to find like marijuana stuck inside the book?
Right.
I'm reading.
How would she ever even get anything like that? I mean, you guys don't. She wouldn't be able to. No. My love. See, because I was raised by such. My mother was like sniffing. My mom could hear and sniff. She was like a dog. She could sniff and hear anything all day. And I literally always think that Avery's going to be up to something. But after this long a time, I'm always like, damn, she just isn't. So. That's
but
good.
It still makes me mad. But it still makes me mad that she's still like disobedient when I'm like, go to bed. Why are you up? I'm just a night owl.
Have school? Does she have school?
They got this online school. And my daughter online is literally death for her. She's still getting straight A's, but she puts everything off until the last possible second because she doesn't believe that, oh, it's all going to work. Like, what if the internet goes out? Well, I guess I just deal with that. How do you instill work ethic and saying, just get it done early and reward yourself after? Doug always talks about the cheese, the mouse and the cheese. This is our household conversation. Don't give yourself the cheese before the mouse gets the race. You need to be the mouse running to get the cheese. And she's like, and that's with the cheese and the mouse. I'm like, well, you're gobbling up the cheddar.
Right.
And then you're fat and happy going, I don't even need to run the race because I got the cheese.
Right. I don't know how you teach that. It is really hard. And part of it is just their age. They just don't. That's just who they are. I mean, that's what teenagers do. We have online school too. George's is fairly regimented. Like she had a class this morning at 8:45, but it's not that way every day. Some days she doesn't have class till 11. So the good and the bad about that is not every day is the same, but sometimes that's bad because then it's hard to keep up with stuff. Yeah. So Isla's first class every day is at 11. So at least I'm getting her up. She was waking up at 10:50.
Yeah, she's Avery. And they have that same brain of like, what's the least amount?
Yes.
What's the last second? Because why would I don't care. What do I know? That's Avery at the last second in her school. It's a STEM school. And they're just like, because legally it's not private. So they can't regimen everybody because not everybody has computers and not everybody has internet. So legally they can't even give them a grade. They're offering her at the end of this year. They're like, well, you can get pass or fail if you want that. And this is what your grade average would be. And she's taking honors and some college classes, which would put her at like a 4.6 grade point average weighted. Or you could just take your grades, which they won't give you the college credit because there was all this wrapped up thing. And she was like, what should I do? And I went, well, go where the highest GPA will be. I mean, for yourself, but it's what's shocking to me for her is she doesn't have to log in and do a Zoom. They're not doing roll call. They're not doing attendance because they legally can't.
Interesting.
So that's our problem is that and what does she do? I go, but you have a computer and we do have internet.
Yeah.
So you need to be doing your part. And she was like, yeah, but not everyone has to, and it's not the rule. So if I don't have to, I'm not gonna and won't. And will not. Well,
Isla, I've told this story before on the podcast, but I'll tell you because you'll get a kick out of it. PE was requiring that you keep a log of your nutrition, your water, and your workout. And they're asking you to work out for like half an hour a day. And so I thought that was great. I thought it was stupid and great. You know what I mean? Like it's good to say, hey, you need to work out, you need to move, and you need to eat well.
Yeah, because you're sitting on your butt. And watching and doing
that. But it's extra work and she has so much work. And so I had mixed feelings about it. But in the beginning, when that popped up on her Schoology, which is their online portal, she went, oh, I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm already into my high school. So it doesn't matter. I'll take the 0. And I went, that's not what we're doing. Like you can't do that.
There wasn't a choice in there.
No, your teacher is saying this is your assignment. So you will be doing that. She was like, yeah, I'm just not doing it. And I was like, I went to Bert and I was like, what do I do? Like part of me goes, she's right. I mean, she's already into high school. She doesn't need the grade. It's a bunch of bullshit work for her. Yeah. But she has to do it because if your boss says, I need a log of every minute that you shit and piss, then you have to fucking do it.
Right. So, or what's the consequence? You don't keep your job. And my daughter, like I probably would say, but this isn't a job.
And I'm good with that.
It is your job.
Exactly. Yes. So Bert was really smart with this. He said, just let her do it. Let her take the 0 and see what she does. And I went, okay. So
that would be so hard.
It was so hard for me. It was so hard. So she's supposed
to. You're accepting failure. You're accepting failure.
You're breaking the rules. Yes. You're breaking the rules. This is not how life works. Fail. I'm supposed to be teaching her how life works, and I'm totally teaching her. Oh my God! So I'm coming undone on the inside, right?
No.
So she's supposed to fill out the log for the previous week on Monday, right? So she does Monday through Friday. She fills out on the following Monday. So the following Monday came around, and I'm helping her go through her stuff. This is in the beginning, so I'm helping her really figure out how everything works. And I go, oh, okay, your PE log, but you're taking the 0, so this is okay. And she goes, well, maybe I don't want the 0. And I went, okay, well then what are you going to do? We didn't keep the log. You didn't want to keep the log. And she was like, let me see if I can remember everything I ate. So she made up she did a 80% accurate, 20% fiction log.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, you had decided you wanted to take the 0. So what happened? She was like, well, I feel like that's not the right choice. And I went, yes.
Oh my God.
So she learned
you're so good. You're so patient. You're
Oh,
so good.
It was so hard.
It
was so hard.
I could not. I'm telling everyone right now, that's not in my DNA. Impossible, because I would have every scenario laid out to her about how much of a failure that looks like and what is that going to do for her in life later. And then she would have to justify it the whole time, being like, well, it really doesn't matter because I mean, who really cares if I don't work out or I do? And it would get into this like monotone and
but Bert was right.
He was right.
Bert said, let her do it and see what happens. And you know what happened is it made her easier with the rest of her classes. I think it made her, because I kept saying to her, this isn't about your grade. You know, what you learn in 8th grade repeats in 10th grade. So if you don't learn what's going on now, in 10th grade, you're going to have a terrible time because we'll be out of this quarantine. 2 years from now, we'll be out of this. You'll be in a classroom going, what is a compound in chemistry? What is a chemical compound? I don't understand any of this algebra.
Right.
Who was the first president of the United States? Not that she would learn that, but you know what I mean?
But,
so we're talking about history.
everything. Yeah.
And so I was like, this is why we have to do this work. It's not about your grade. It's not even about turning it in. It's because 10th grade builds on 8th grade. 6th grade built on 8th grade built on 6th grade. If you don't do that, then you're lost. And that's the way life works. Like if you don't do the log, the boss asks you when he asks you a question and you don't have the log, you can't answer the question. Right?
That's right.
It's 100%. So in this summit we had yesterday, we sat down and I was like, listen, I'm doing all of the housework by myself. And that's not fair. 4 people are living here all day long. It was more fair when you were going to school, but you're in school like 2 hours a day. You have no extracurricular you have no softball. We have no piano. We have no tennis. There is no reason why I'm doing everything totally by myself. Right. So this is going to stop and you're going to start taking on more responsibilities. Each girl is cooking one dinner a week that they tell me what they're cooking. We get the groceries and they cook it. Nice. They're going to be cleaning the kitchen every single night. They would clean it here and there.
Yeah. But you probably had to ask and you had to like make it like, come on, somebody else. Yeah.
Walking the dogs every day. But I'd have them walk the dogs a couple days a week and then I'd do a couple days because I'd go, oh, well, you know, I hate to ask them every day. And I'm spoiling them. I'm totally spoiling them rotten.
Yeah, I hear you.
Last night.
It's such a fine line.
It is. We're up at 10. We're on the treadmill every day. You're going to spend 15 minutes in the sun at least every day because I was like a fucking vampire. That kid is like a vampire. She's white as a sheet. Because she never goes outside.
You can see their blood flowing in their bodies.
Their veins.
Yes.
She's like a vampire. So we were like, it's over. If we're going to be locked down until the end of July like this, we can't let you continue on like this. You have to take some responsibility for what's going on in this household because you're part of it. And you have to take some responsibility for your own health and well-being. And this is how it's going to happen. And so day 1, Bert's supposed to wake him up at 10 because we'll still probably be talking. George is already up and in class, but Isla has to get up because she has an 11 o'clock class. So I want her up at 10, eating something, moving a little bit.
Move your body.
Either walk a dog or get on the treadmill. Your choice. I don't care.
Do something.
But move before you start class. Because you know what she started doing last week? So I was waking her up. I think she, in her defense, about 2 weeks ago, she started showing some signs of a little light depression, which is completely normal. She's totally isolated from her peers. She has no routine not really. And she's really used to, she's super social. She's a highly social human being. And she's
like Bert too, right? She's got a lot of Bert in her. That entertainer.
Yes. She just is really social. So the rubber kind of met the road about 2 weeks ago and she started really having a very hard time getting up, not wanting to eat, not wanting to go outside, not changing clothes, not taking a bath, not brushing her hair. For whatever reason, she brushed her teeth every day, but that was kind of the minimum. And she changed her underwear. Other than that,
That's all you get. Yeah.
So we were like, okay. So I start waking her up. And like I said, she was getting up like 5 minutes before class. So one day I go in and she's in the top bunk and she's clearly asleep. And I can hear her teacher on the thing. And I go, Isla, you're sleeping in class. You have to sit up. And she sits up and she goes, oh no, Mom, I hit record. It's okay. So she was recording her class and sleeping through it. And I was like, that's not how it works. Up. You got to get up. You got to sit up.
God.
I let you stay in the top bunk because you would sit up in your top bunk and that's fine. But you can't just go back to freaking sleep. She went totally back to sleep and recorded the Zoom and then couldn't find where to sit. Then she couldn't find it. Oh. So she recorded it, but couldn't watch it because she couldn't find it. And I was like, not a great plan, not a well thought out plan.
Didn't think that went through. See, Avery and I would have a lot in common with that because it's weird because like Avery's a non-manipulator. Like it's just very black and white, right? Mm-hmm. But she would figure that out. And then if I would say to her, like, get up, what are you doing? You can't do this. She'd be like, do we have a rule that said, I didn't know that if it isn't like her staying up till 5 a.m, I didn't think I had to make a rule that said, and don't be an asshole. Yeah. And stay up till 5 a.m. like a crackhead. I didn't know that was part of what I had to write down. Like, do I really need to write that? Make sure you wipe from front to back. And do I need, there's a little bit of like, and you should wash your vagina every day.
Right?
She would die. But this whole like, this is the greasy, I hugged her the other day and I was like, you need to burn that shirt because I did not cook an onion dish tonight, and you smell like a pot of onions. Yeah. You don't smell that? Yeah. I don't smell bad. You smell endless.
Maybe you got used to it.
I'm like, your whole room has a little bit of an air of onions.
Yes.
Well, I wear deodorant every day. It doesn't count when you keep layering it on.
Yeah.
You need to get it to base camp, right? Yeah. Clean it, scrub it, lemon it up. I don't care. Acid it down. Something.
Start it over.
It drives me crazy. And then like, we're here and we can't, I've been the one going out to the grocery store, or I went to Target. Avery hasn't gone anywhere in 2 months. So I took her to Target with me and, we had the mask and all that. And they're doing the waiting at the door. And then they let a certain amount of people come in. And I just was, funny enough, 2 weeks ago, though, you could totally go into Target, no problem. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, oh, so 2 weeks ago, I was totally safe and now I'm not. Like, come on, get your shit together. Like it either is or isn't. I think a lot of it is, a lot of it's up here, not there. And is it real? We know it's real. But I mean, like, it's theatrical. There's a lot of theatrics going on, right? Like we talk about for my company, when we come back online, we have this whole thing. We've been taking webinars and meetings about how we're going to introduce spa again to people, and our therapists are going to get temperature gauged. And then we're going to have face shields for estheticians. And then all of our staff wear masks. And then we have to have a shield between the front desk and them. It's like Mad Max, seriously. And they all will feel better doing that. But then you're going to get the customer. You're going to get the one who's an asshole that comes in and is like, I'm not wearing a mask. Well, I can't enforce that really, because you can get sued. Right. Because you could be non-compliant with ADA laws if they say, well, I've got a medical condition and I don't have to divulge it for HIPAA law.
Right.
Oh my God, then don't come into that goddamn spa. But what do you do? So I took Avery in the Target and we're walking around and literally 50% of the people in there weren't wearing masks. They don't, and so you're looking around and it was so weird. Like one day it just clipped where all of a sudden everyone was wearing a mask. And then when someone isn't, you're like, oh, I wonder why they're not. And you start seeing this whole shift.
Yeah.
It's just strange, all of this that we're in right now. And you talk about depression, and Avery and I have talked about, Avery and Doug suffer from that. And I don't. But a week and a half ago, I had where I literally was like, oh my God, this is what that feels like. Mm-hmm. I felt the wave come over me of, I have to fall asleep right now. Yeah. Like it was 7:00 in the evening. We had just been on calls all day long. It just hammered with emails and all night long getting hammered with emails and questions. And I literally was like, my body wanted to shut down. It just was like, go to sleep. Just go to sleep. because your cortisol levels are off the charts. You know, you're in constant adaptation mode of how are we going to do this? Well, what about this? How are we going to afford that? If you move this, okay, well, if I can't pay my rent and this thing, I mean, it is insane.
Yeah.
And you just rock it. And like I was telling you, I think we're going to really see, my fear for everybody is that August, when unemployment runs out, right? July 25th, the extra stimulus, the $600 a week, where most of my staff are making more than they did because, you know, if they part-time or something, what then? You know, then what?
Right. I think they'll be forced to open. I think they'll be forced to open up. And, you know, I'm curious to see what happens in Georgia because they are really open. And I'm curious about it. I don't necessarily think it's a wrong idea. I don't know. I don't know that we have.
I don't think anybody knows.
I don't think anybody knows. And I think
somebody had to be the guinea pig too.
Somebody had to be. And thank you, Georgia, for doing that in a certain way, you know, and people may be so incensed about them making that choice. But I think what they are doing is making the choice to put the decision in individuals' hands, right, and to say, we need our economy because we can't sustain this. This is unsustainable. I mean, right. I'm just reading into it. I haven't heard Mr. Kemp talk about any of this specifically. Maybe he has, but I haven't been really watching him in the news at all. Yeah. But I think, you know, it's just a slightly different paradigm and saying, well, what is the cost of us staying quarantined? The cost is all these people go completely under. And how do we ethically say, guess you go under? I mean, you know,
and how many deaths will come out of that? That's what we were talking about. There's so much mental illness, suicide. You give people no purpose to live, and they can't feed their families. You talk about pride. You talk about just an escapism for people. We will see them; they'll die. And so you go, okay, which death is? One is preventable. Yes. One is, if I'm at high risk potentially, I won't go out. You know what I mean? If I had an issue, I wouldn't go. If my child did, and I get that. If we started seeing, everything would be different if we saw that children were highly susceptible to this. You know what I mean? Like we're talking, majority of the deaths have been older people past 65, usually had an underlying condition. What I don't like is when media, you know, it really makes you look at the media, and it makes you all of them, right, left, center, doesn't matter. All of them, you go, here's a question, flatten the curve, hydrochloroquine, Z-Pak, remdesivir, all these conversations. I haven't heard the word hydrochloroquine and Z-Pak in weeks.
Yeah.
Not weeks. This was something that was it's a $20 malaria drug. Haven't heard it mentioned in the news at all, unless it was tied to Trump and they wanted to try to get him. It's like, now remdesivir, they did talk about, I heard one story on it for the past week.
Right.
That's it. And you're like, if this drug has been FDA rushed and approved for its immediate release, and they gave 1.5 million doses out, and it has been proven in the case studies, 31% of those that have it were healing faster with this drug. Give it to them. Like, what? And there's no praise of that, right? There's there's an element here of like, what is the powers that keep you down too? Yes. There's an element of that.
I agree.
Powerful and weak.
I agree.
And powerful. Yeah. And it really is fucked up.
You know,
scary.
I saw when this first started, I think it was before actually we were totally locked down. It's when Bert's shows had been canceled and he was driving here. So it was probably before early March. I watched this YouTube video with Dr. Drew talking about this. And he said, you know, we have to keep this in perspective. Something to this, I'm totally paraphrasing, but he was like, we have to keep this in perspective. 2 years ago, we lost 80,000 people to influenza.
Right.
So he said, I think the media is making this such a fear-based panic that we have to remember we have something else called influenza that takes a lot of people as well. We have a vaccine for it, and it still takes people. So I think one of the pathways out of this is to shift our perspective into, this is a new type of influenza, even though it's not flu, but everybody gets vaccinated. I got the flu shot and still got the flu. So,
and I didn't get the flu shot. And I think in December, I could swear to God, I got coronavirus because I was sick as shit and got 7 people sick around me. And I don't get the flu. I don't even get the flu shot.
Right. So I was like, and then a month or so later, Dr. Drew got totally destroyed for saying that in the video, saying he was underreacting, that he was giving people information so that they wouldn't take this seriously. And he had to actually like publicly apologize. And I thought,
of course he did.
That is bullshit because he's right. He's right. We've now passed into like 88,000.
We're at 89 and change, but today there's only 700 deaths instead of 1,700. Right. So but is it going to keep going? Yeah.
But the body, what has happened since the 1918 influenza epidemic? That's similar to this. Our bodies have gotten our immune system so that they can fight the flu better. We have a vaccine and we still lose people. And we don't want to lose anybody ever for any reason ever.
Right.
But how much of that can we really control? Because not to be religious, but God is part of this, in my opinion. And so at a certain point, you have to be mindful. You have to, don't go to Target and then immediately go to see your 89-year-old grandmother. That's stupid. Okay. Then don't fucking do that. Go to Target, shower, go see your grandmother after that. Yes. Use
Wear
your
a mask to your grandmothers, maybe.
Yes. Don't take your grandmother to freaking McDonald's for her Mother's Day.
Birthday.
Don't do that.
You're a piece of shit.
Exactly.
Your grandmother to McDonald's.
Right. Well, you never know.
Corona.
People such an economic background. You never know. But you know what I mean? You don't take you just you have to think about that differently. And if you think about it differently, then you're doing your best, right?
Totally.
All you can do is your best, but we can't not every single industry. Some industries are thriving right now. I mean,
100%. Amazon's killing it. UPS, FedEx, everywhere. Any sanitizer company. Yeah. We did our part by trying to create one too, just so we could stay afloat. And people need to know something. FYI, sanitizer like this stuff smells like shit. It's gonna smell like tequila on its back.
Oh, I didn't think it smelled that bad, and I actually really like it because you can spray it on and rub it. I love your hand sanitizer. I think it's awesome. Good. And
some people have written me like, this stinks. I don't like it. I'm like, did you read on there that we're following the FDA and we have to for regulations? We can't add any. You can add essential oil too. We can't. It's going to smell like tequila. It's going to remind you of Cancun, 1992, and Fat Tuesdays up at the bar, Daisy Dukes, and possibly dancing to, I don't know, any kind of song that had 95 South in it. I'm just saying. but yeah, no, it's definitely you can smell the alcohol in it because 80% alcohol, because you can't put regular plain old alcohol in your hand. You burn your freaking hands off. Yeah. But that's what we did. We shifted as quick as we could, and getting your hands on that stuff was insane. It's like right now you can't find a Clorox wipe to save your life. Like you can't find the tub and they won't be in for the near future. They just weren't expecting it. So some companies are killing it right now. And you have to my entrepreneur stuff was like, what do we do? Because our industry got hammered, right? We're up there with hotel industry, restaurant, just shut down. And then they're like, well, they keep calling it massage parlors, which is so bad. Because massage parlor to me means anything extra.
I know, right?
A little bit of something. I'm like, parlor? How about therapeutic massage that does not include any glute or any type of rubbing of anything that is not legitimately a sports massage of any kind? It just, when
it's not rubbing for sport. It's sports rubbing, not rubbing for sport, right?
That's right. And, to each his own. But there's a level where they kept coming on the news, and even Governor DeSantis, and you have Kemp going, it's okay, get massage parlors. I'm like, you want to... Because all of us in the industry be like, can you just say, if you perform spa cosmetology services, they just keep going, maybe you need to get rubbed down. Like, no, there's no rubbing down of anything. There's no rubbing upward down of anything of any kind. No rubbing up and down.
No.
Disgusting. But yeah, it's all of this, all that we're talking about is just, it's scary, and everybody's experiencing it in a different way. A lot of people I know are still able to work. They're teleconferencing, but they're still working. Their paychecks are still coming in. For Alana and I, we have no paycheck. We're on unemployment right now. And I'm very grateful for the unemployment. I mean, really grateful for it. You know, it's enough to sustain for the deferment time that we have. But in July, all the mortgages become due, right? All of the leases that we have come due, the car lease, then the spas that I have in California, those are going to be due. I've got to talk to an attorney now to talk to them, because if we're in 2008 kind of money, then the rent should be 2008 kind of rent.
Right.
Because how do you not? I mean, you can't charge what 2020 was supposed when we're here. Same with them, with a landlord. They should be going to the bank and being like, hey, the value of our property isn't that now, you know?
Right.
It just sucks all the way around. We were having such a good year. You know, It was like everything was looking out. I mean, Bert had just done his Netflix. He was just about, I mean, thank God everyone's at home. I'm hoping for you guys that must have been a bonus, but it's him going on the road to support that must have been very devastating. You know?
Yes. You know, his main source of income is the road. So, we are blessed that he has 3 podcasts that can take care of our mortgages, car payments, private school, grow, you know, all of our basic needs also. But, and, you know, because he's not on the road, we spend a lot less money. We're not renting a bus. We're not paying, you know, a bus driver. And, So our overhead is drastically reduced when he's not on the road. But I mean, it has significantly impacted our year-end earnings statement. Will be totally different. And, you know, they're saying he won't be able to go back on the road until April.
Why is that? If they're going to allow in phase 4 or whatever in California specifically, but if they're allowing people to gather eventually, how come he can't? And like
because the crowds, because that is like basically, even though he's in like 2,000, 3,000 seaters, that's lumped with stadiums. So,
and they're saying stadiums, maybe not till April. How can they fucking say that? April?
But the thing is, you can play a football game, NFL, with no fans. It's not as fun, but you can do that. You can't do a stand-up show with no fans. You can't do that.
I can run a retail boutique and control people coming in.
Yeah.
The only people really coming into the retail boutique are the ones that were getting the treatment.
Yeah.
So chicken and the egg, and we can't give a massage to someone without touching them, you know?
Yes. And so you and Bert are in kind of the same boat. The only way Bert will go back to work in the way that we knew it before is when we're wide open, when we're totally.
I know. Well, you got people laughing, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Doing their micro droplets everywhere.
Yep. And people are always drunk, so they're always sloppy with their self-care. So, you know,
totally.
I don't know what the pivot is for him. We have a few things in mind. None of them are for financial reasons. Right. One of them is a total loss leader, but he's like, but people need to laugh. And we're sustaining our lifestyle with his podcast. Thank you, everyone who is patient and listens to all his ads, because that is what is keeping us going.
The lights on, 100%. So I hear you.
If we didn't have that, we would really be in bad shape. But
totally, I hear you.
But yeah, what really, I mean, it sounds so stupid to even have this conversation based on what people are going through. But, you know, as an artist, Bert had really hit a great trajectory in his art that now has stopped. And that stinks, because at the end of the day, the art is selfishly for him, but it's also for everyone watching. I mean, we've gotten so many emails saying, I have watched your specials over and over again during this quarantine because I just need to laugh. So in a certain way, it's like it sounds really more important than it probably is, but in some way it's like a public service to have good content.
Well, it's an antidote.
Laugh.
It's an antidote. You know? It's a, you know, I kind of view it, Well, I can tell you that. Matter of fact, the call I had before you, I had a video Zoom conference call with one of my team members at Provide, and she said I told her I was doing this with you, and she said, please tell Bert, tell Leanne that for her to tell Bert that my operations manager at Provide, and her name is Erin. She said I watched all of his specials over the weekend just because I needed to laugh, and I just think he's so freaking funny. It just made me let go for a little bit. And I was like, I will let her know that.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Because it is important. And, I kind of view self-care and skincare, it can feel, like you were saying, it can feel kind of schwarmy or weird to say, because self-care through skincare. But there's a moment of, we need to feel a sense of normalcy, whatever that looks like to people. Sometimes, and listen, I've been the naysayer personally when I've been in hell. I'm having a hard time with all of these, especially in my industry. I love our industry, but there's a lot of that. There's a little bit of righteousness in it. There's a little of any industry, but there's a little bit of that self, guided meditation. Like everyone go and let's all Zoom chat about wellness and this. And I personally was struggling because I was like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm trying to figure out how we can keep ourselves alive. Like I'm trying to figure out how we can. With my business partner, we're like, how do we keep these people employed eventually when we come back around the other side? Because our hotels are going to be dead as a doornail. No one's going to be wanting spa. Like, how do we keep a business for 15 years that we have loved, nourished, given up most of our family time for? That's what I'm thinking about. I don't have time to learn to journal differently. I don't want to go learn how to paint. I can't go buy Michael's stuff so I can learn my newest art form. And I can't, and listen, and that was me being like, right? Like, I wish I was just able to sit and like be with my thoughts and like, I really want to get to know myself. And I'm not like that naturally anyways, but there's an element of like, I think it's jealous. I'm jealous or envious of those persons who that's their outlet to do. And I envy it because I don't have that in me. I have more of that, like, fuck it, fix it. Like I come at it like a freaking, like I'm going to fight it MMA style. Like, let's go. Instead of, let me think about it. Let me ponder it. Let me switch it around 15 different ways. I'm like, fuck that, move.
What can I do? And really, there's nothing you can do.
Right. Which is where the exhaustion, cortisol, adaptation, and just let me go to sleep.
Yeah.
Just put me out.
Yeah.
Choke me out. I'm out.
Bert feels that way too about his stand-up. He feels very despondent.
Yeah. He wants to fight through it and push and go,
how can we?
I can't do this, but what can I do? And that is so exhausting for somebody.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people think like that too. And I get it. And those sometimes you got the people that, lead the ship, and you got the people that row the ship. You got the people, it's the captain and the generals and the soldiers. And I feel, Lana and I talk a lot about this. We're just tired, man.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. And no one really cares. Everyone's like, oh, boo-hoo, you have your own company. Meh. Like, oh, cry me a river. You at least have a company. I'm like, for now, on paper.
But you don't have a company from like eating bonbons and putting your feet up. You have a company from work, really hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, and you earned it and you deserve it. And not everybody has the means to do that, or the desire or the drive. I was talking to somebody not long ago about how our society doesn't say, hey, it's okay to be an office manager at your local medical office and that be your dream job, because that gives you the opportunity to do arts and crafts when we're in quarantine. And that's who you are. And I don't know why as a society we don't go, well, fuck yeah, absolutely. That's amazing, because you're choosing a different lifestyle than someone who owns a business whose lifestyle, you never stop thinking about your business. Right. I mean, we have 3 businesses. I never stop thinking about our business. Right. And that is, I like that.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
Would be crazy if I went to a 9 to 5 and went home and was like, done. I can't do that. But for some people, that's what they want. And that is awesome. There's nothing wrong with either choice. Right. It's just what works for you as a person. And I think we don't validate I think people as a society look down on kids who don't want to go to college and instead want to go to vocational school, on people who don't want to own their own business or be in this upper echelon of whatever they believe owning your own business is. It's, look at Doug. Hey, Doug.
Yeah.
He could come say hi.
Oh,
I love old Doug.
Are you kidding me? He was like this. Oh, yeah, I'm out.
I love Doug. You know, I've always loved Doug. I get the biggest kick out of him.
I know. Brother from another mother.
He is indeed.
No, but I totally agree with you about, you know, it's the same thing. It goes back to being a woman, a mother who works. I mean, it's the same mentality. I remember being in those Mom and Me classes when I moved here, actually trying to, you know, open up our businesses and still trying to be a mom on top of shit, which I was not successful very much at. But, and I don't know if it was my own fear of being judged that was permeating off me.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like I was giving off an odor because I still don't have friends.
Was it onion? Was the odor onion?
No. Okay. If anything, it was sweet and it was subtle. My pheromones are very lovely. No, but I do think that what I found was I think it probably was my own judgment is what I'm thinking clearly of like, oh, they better not be judging me.
Right.
So it's almost a defense mechanism. Like, oh yeah, you're going to judge me, motherfucker? I got you first. I'm going to judge you.
Right.
Oh, it's so hard being home. No, I did that for a year and a half. I know. And I remember going, but I wasn't fulfilled enough. You know, that was my personal journey and choice. And there was consequences to that I accept. And then there were benefits to it that I accept. So, but I do think that I've said that before. I'm like, you know, if we lose all this, you know, we have a nice house, we have a lot of debt from this house. And I've got businesses. If we talk about that and I try to go, he doesn't really like to talk about this stuff because it's a little too depressing. And I go more into the control of, well, what if the wheels come off? You know, remember, my brother is a former Green Beret major. He's retired and, you know, he's doing very well for himself, but he talks about that. Like he when this all went down, he was like, yeah, he's a little doomsayer. Not gonna lie. I mean, when you've served like 5 tours in Iraq and you've killed people for a living, you probably are like this. I mean, my compound. So he's got a place in Tallahassee. He's got like 500 acres and they're building a small little cabin thing on there. I mean, he goes there. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on some of this, but he's serious. He was like, this is how it's going to roll. And he walked through it. And right now we are following the trends of everything he said because he's seen societies and civil warfare and civil disobedience, which is what we're starting to have. And he goes, when people start starving, this is when shit changes hardcore. When people start getting fearful of food and, you know, and so we're at that like civil disobedience before civil warfare. He's like, you're going to start seeing people, they will get theirs. They will make sure that it's survival. And we're not there yet, of course. And hopefully we'll never touch that. But that's when shit gets really ugly. And he just talks about when the wheels come off, what happens? And I'm like, you know, if this all gets taken away, because if I lose the spas in California, because let's say we can't open and we open up and there's nothing and my landlords are assholes and say, nope, then try to come after me. I have an SBA loan that's tied to my home. Gone.
Right.
And so, and that's the risk you take as an owner of a business is you collateralize everything. You say, here's my home because I believe in it. But when something happens to you, you can't control. It's not because you were bad in business. It wasn't because you couldn't staff it. It wasn't because whatever. It's almost like a natural disaster happens.
Yeah.
But, you know, it just makes you feel so out of control. Mm-hmm. And I think that's for me, the hardest part about all of this. And probably for Bert as well.
Yes.
Is the no control.
Yes.
And I'm a control freak by nature. I want to be in control of my own destiny to as much as I know that I can be. Right. I know that I'm not really in control of it. Yeah. It's a facade, but I like to at least think that I am.
Well, Leo, I think you've talked to Leo. Leo's been a guest here. He's our financial guy that helps us with all our finances and stuff. But I talked to him about this and he said, you know, the good thing, if there's a good thing, the good thing about this is there's no systemic problem with our economy. The problem is a health problem. So once the health problem is displaced or removed, the economy, in theory, should go back to where it was before, basically. So we're not looking at the housing crisis, where that was a systemic problem with the financial system.
For the banking, yeah.
And so it took us so long to build back up that his theory is, because this is not that, we'll build back up more quickly. So
I hope so. It's
I
the
hope so too.
economic portion, though. If 1 in 4 restaurants, statistically, is what the report is, will never come back from this. 1 in 4 restaurants.
I would believe that for restaurants in particular.
Yes.
And, you know, something I've tried to do, and I've been encouraging people to do on every podcast, is to shop small businesses right now. You know, if you can buy groceries from a small grocer instead of your big chain, the big chains are going to be fine.
Yeah, they've already gotten the $20 to $70 million bailout, not bailout, but PPP money.
Yeah,
that is good.
They're going to be
really
fine, and everybody's still shopping at Target and Pavilions and Ralph's and Gelson's and whatever.
They go for convenience. Yep.
Yes, they go for convenience, and those people are going to be fine if you can find a moment in your week to buy from someone local on any capacity. You know, if you have a birthday gift, instead of going to Target and getting it all in one, see if there's a way you can safely go to your local boutique, buy skincare from someone.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Sanitizer from
Wrap it up, baby. Wrap it up. Exactly.
Yeah, it's true, because you can get sanitizer not anywhere, but you can get it from other places and get Targets and all that.
Yeah.
But if you have companies that you can support, it will I can tell you, when we get a gift card sold online for Raven Spa, I get so happy, because I know then that therapist, when it's time to open, will have a job that week.
Right.
And that's where we're at, where it's like, you know, I mean, you know, the rent in LA is crazy. And so just thinking about it statistically, if businesses have to come back at 20.
I just wanted to say hi. I didn't want you to be in here and not say hi to you.
Oh, hi.
Go back. You guys sound like you're having an interesting conversation. I just want to say hi, Rumbley.
Hey, Bert. He's so funny. All I saw was stomach.
I know, on purpose.
I just saw the belly. Yeah, I know. Doug's getting one of those.
We
call it the COVID-19 pounds.
Well, you bring up a good point, because I had an online shopping party for this woman who 2 times a year for years now, my friends and I have done a private shopping party for her, and she donates a certain percentage of sales to our local elementary school. So it's been a fundraiser and a fun girls' night out, and it helps her at the boutique. It's like a win-win-win.
Yeah.
So I had one planned for May 1st, and we couldn't do it, obviously. So I was like, why don't we do it by Zoom? See how it works. Like, you be in your store and show us what you got. You know all of us so well. We've been shopping there for 6 years, and she knows everybody's general size, and nobody's
that's great.
Much. So we had this huge shopping spree, and one of my friends said, you know, I have a really hard time. She's really tall. And she was like, I have a hard time buying at her store, because the store owner is 5'1" and my friend is 6'1". So she doesn't really have a lot of really long, tall, and 6'1" is really tall for a woman. So she said, I just decided I'm going to buy a gift certificate, because I always go in there and buy gifts. So when we're out of this, I already have a gift certificate, and it's money in her pocket right now that I can, you know, take advantage of later at any time. And I thought, oh my God, that is so smart. Even if you just buy gift cards to your local stores who, you know, hopefully they don't go under. And I don't know what happens if a gift card, if with someone that you go under is gone, but
it is gone. It is gone. But it's almost like you're donating. It's like you're donating for a good cause, and the bonus is they get to stay in business.
Yes.
And you can utilize it, right? But that is where people are trepidatious, especially in spas. I can tell you, people are kind of like, ooh, I hope they're open. I hope they can open, you know. And they're right. It's like restaurants. I feel specifically in places, example, Los Angeles will feel it very, very hard. Nail salons, because of stupid Newsom and what he said about that. Did you hear about what he said about nail salons?
No.
I'm not even going to repeat it, because I don't want to give it any legs. But basically, look it up and it will tell you what he called out nail salons specifically. And the editor of Nail Pro magazine, there were like 800,000 manicurists. And it literally could in one fell swoop make everyone fearful of getting their nails done. And it's just like, are you shitting me?
But why? That's so stupid.
It was stupid. But a lot of stuff that unfortunately in California that gets done is stupid. And I hope that Californians wake up to how the government's being run there. I mean, take a look around, right? The homeless situation, the rents being out of control, the wage for the employer to pay the employee not being make enough, but they can't pay. I mean, it's destined to have I heard Joe Rogan was talking about, he's like, I'll move to Texas. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's not kidding. And in Texas, of course, are like, yes, come.
Right.
But I do think that, I mean, I live in North Carolina and they're following pretty strictly. I mean, we're on phase 1. We can't, there's no restaurants open. And I get it. And part of me, again, it's this heart and head pull. My heart understands it. My head goes, I don't like people tromping on civil liberties and constitutional rights, but I'm not an activist. I'm not waving a flag. I'm not burning my barrel. I don't need to do all that. But as a business owner, and I have staff that are like, I don't want to come back until we feel really safe. And I get it. There'll come a time where rubber meets the road. And it's like, well, if we don't open up, we never can open up.
Right.
And when 33 million people don't have jobs, after July 25th, people are going to need jobs. So you may want to take that job opportunity when offered to you, and you may not get that full unemployment that last week, because then you can't get it if you're getting paid, but you have a job that's being, and I get it. If I could sit and make money right now on unemployment and feel secure at least for a couple months, I get that 1,000%.
Right.
But a business is going to be at a place where they can't open because no one wants to come back.
Right.
And if you don't have employees there and you don't have people coming to your business, you got no business, you're going kaput.
Yeah.
That's what I fear. I do fear that for a lot of businesses, for our own business, And then what? I'm reinventing again.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have the energy to do that shit.
Well,
I would drink myself into oblivion.
I know, right? I don't know. I think they're going to have to open up so people can make money.
They're going to have to, because in New Jersey this morning, they had that fit gym guy who was like, the New Jersey governor was like, he cannot open up a gym, but the chiropractor next to him could. And he was just like,
what?
He's like, I'm going on 3 months. I have to, or we won't make it. We are social distancing. We have put our gym equipment, it's called Atlas Gym or something. And we'll find out if he got arrested. I mean, same thing happened in Texas with the hair salon owner, a woman. She's like, I can't feed my family. I am going to open my business. I will have everyone stand outside. We will, all the things that we've got to do.
Yeah.
Salons are even more so than a restaurant is. We have to sanitize every tool that we use. You don't have to sanitize silverware. You just have to wash it. We got to wash and sanitize stuff. Now I don't own salons anymore, but I can tell you this woman, she got arrested. Was going to have to spend 7 days in jail. She raised over $500,000. They raised $500,000 GoFundMe for her because they were like, how dare you, government? Because it's an ordinance, and an ordinance can just be fined, from what I understand, but it's not a law.
Yeah, right.
You can't go to jail. And these poor cops are like,
what are
they arrest this poor lady?
Yeah,
she's tax paying.
Yeah, I think that we need to be given it's hard because you feel like if you talk about vaccinating your kids, I feel like that's your civic duty. If the measles is a terrible disease, and if we didn't vaccinate, we would have the measles. So you should do that. So you should quarantine as part of your civic duty. But at a certain point, you do have to say this needs to be an individual's responsibility. We're doing all that we can, but if she wants to go get her hair done at the hair salon, that's the risk she's choosing to take, right?
Totally. And so's that owner, and the owner's taking it.
And the hair salon should have to toe the line. Everybody's wearing a mask. Everybody's being clean. They should have to create a safe environment for people to make a choice.
Totally.
Right?
And that's what they're doing. And if you do that,
right.
are you compliant enough where people, because it's really going to boil down to, and this is where we're having this like total pull in this whole society thing, I think, is people feeling like, don't treat me like I'm a kindergartner, like I'm a child.
Right.
Treat me like I'm an adult because I did what you asked. I've done what you've asked. We're watching it, but we have to start allowing. And I get it. If you're in a hot spot and it is like fire,
Mm-hmm.
you don't come, you're not running into the burning building. You're going to watch it. But when you're talking about places that, I mean, in our town, we have 4 deaths and 80 cases and there's 90,000 people here.
Right. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And people will be like, see, because we've social distance. It's like, okay, but how long are we going to be able to sustain that? Really? And it's all going to, what it's boiled down to. If we could get a drug of some kind, not a vaccine, not even a cure, they can't cure AIDS. They can't cure, you're not curing anything. It is a virus. It's not curable. Yeah, it is. Tamiflu is like remdesivir, right? Remdesivir is what they've proven can make you heal faster and not get you on a ventilator is the goal, right? Yeah. So we don't overwhelm the hospitals. That was the whole point of flattening the curve. But if we have a drug that they know statistically right now in the cases that we can in 2 months' time proves that it's doing this 100% of the time it's doing this, then fucking yes, like go nuts with that thing and anything else that can work. And get it, we're going to have somebody that have bad reactions to it, adverse reaction to it. But I'd rather that than wait in line to see if we could find something perfect. Because that's where the consumer confidence will come from, is about, do we have something like Tamiflu for us or the shot that isn't preventative, but when you get it, because we're all going to get it at some point if we already have it, then we know what's going on. And I think once we know that, we can handle it better. It's if we start knowing people dying that are healthy, that we knew there was no problem with them. If we started all losing friends or family, all ages, then you have absolute paralyzation. That's a different ballgame. But that's how it's being treated. Right. Like we all are losing close ones next to us that, our child, some people have, and it's horrific. Yeah. But not at the tune of shutting down an entire society to the point of people jumping off buildings because they're like, fuck it.
Right. I'm done.
And it's a hard place to be because you can get on political spectrums in this and you can get emotional spectrums and people did know somebody. But at some point, you're going to have people that are rising up eventually that are going to go, if every business went, fuck it.
I'm done.
Fuck it. We're opening because I cannot pay my bills. I'm going to get evicted. There's no law saying you can't evict me after July.
Right. Right.
So what do you do? So it's going to be a mess.
What a mess. So what is your positive from this? I don't think you ever answered me. What's your positive?
Because I don't have one.
There's got to be something like in your house. Here's my positive. Bert has never spent this much time with his girls ever. That's a positive. That's really positive because they have a 2-parent household for 2 months straight, which has never happened. Wow. That's really positive.
That's huge. And that's huge for you too. Yeah. Then it's a shift. It's a change for you. Yes. I assume with all the, you're used to, you run your ship tight.
Yep.
Positive. God, I'm the natural, cynical kind of comedy girl in me goes, I've gained 15 pounds. So that sucks.
You have not.
I have too. I've gained 15 pounds. Yes. In 3 months I have. And it's, that's what happens.
You don't look like
Fat is in. You didn't know? It's so important 15. To feel fat. Mm-hmm.
It's the quarantine 15.
Yeah, we were calling it the COVID-19 pounds.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's not the freshman 15. It's the COVID-19 pounds.
Nice. Well, you got 4 pounds to go. So
I do. I'm working towards it. Hold on. Positive. Shit.
Have you enjoyed
no.
Your daughter? Your
No.
Nothing.
I've been okay. Yeah, I've enjoyed cooking more.
Yeah.
Hate the fucking dishes. So I've enjoyed the cooking.
Yeah, the cooking itself.
Because we're eating more at home.
Yeah.
But I've learned too that if by 6 o'clock I'm not in there starting it ain't happening. We've had more frozen pizza, and I'm just like, is it a pizza night? Pizza, it's really weird. I'm anxiously craving when my mind will rest, because I feel like my brain is on fire.
Interesting.
That's how it feels. I feel like I deeply am craving numbness and brain rest.
Like peace.
Because it's like, will I feel peace? It's almost like going, I'll feel peace in October. Like almost like this. I have to keep the eye on. I have to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And when you can't, because you're so in it, you don't know when you can open California up again. You don't know when you can get your staff back on. Are people going to come? I mean, all those things create a lot of just navigational issues in my brain. So it feels like it's on fire.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, and this is something I need to sit with too, is go, what are the blessings? Well, we're healthy.
Yeah.
We haven't, Avery is safe. I've made sure of it. Like, I go and get my, my McDonald's Coke, and I wake that shit down, because I also don't want to, pummel my immune system too. I don't want to be sanitized to the point where I get more sick from superbugs because we didn't go anywhere.
Right.
But, and some may say, oh, it's stupid. It's like, no, that's not really. Because if you're completely, it's not, it's good to actually expose yourself to stuff too. I guess we're healthy. I've been able to keep Doug from spiraling a little bit during this time. I was very concerned with Avery. She's actually doing okay on the depression scale, because I was worried about Doug. I was worried he was going to spiral if he feels like, what's going to happen in my business. And I think he could go dark. And I don't have the capacity to manage and take care of that too. That would be over time. Count me out. Like, it just put me in a rubber room for a while, because I will need that decompression. But it's the craving of, we had to cancel our trip. We had a trip to Florida. It's canceled. I mean, boohoo, first world problems. I know. However, it's still, it sucks. Avery had to cancel her STEM school college Ringling. She was going to go do a month and a half.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on Facebook or something.
Huge. It was going to be huge for her. Canceled it. But we can't afford it now. I was like, sorry, probably can't afford the college, but I'm not going to tell her that. But she's like, I'll get loans. I'm like, okay. So don't worry about that. But, there's just an element of normalcy that I'm craving so hard. And the good thing is that I recognize what we had before. And I recognize that, wow, we had really good. So any bitching that was done prior, like, stop your bitching.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's a great thing to have realized.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too, that we didn't really, we're not complainers at all. We are very positive, glass half full. Thank you. I mean, every single night we go around the table and say, what was your favorite part of your day? Least nice. What are you grateful for? So we try to keep gratitude really present in our day to day. So we didn't really have that, but like not understanding how lucky and blessed we were, we always kind of did. But since it's shifted, I guess we feel really blessed that we were in such a good place to be able to have enough money in savings that we don't need to draw unemployment, and we're not going to, because I don't think that's ethically right for us, because
you can hang. Yeah.
Money, we don't need it. Other people need that money. We don't need that money. So we're not taking that money. We're not taking any help from the government at all, because I don't think that's ethically right. I just have a problem with that. But I don't have a business that totally shut down like you did.
Totally.
It's apples and oranges. We still are making enough money that we are completely fine from the podcast. So,
and that's huge. And that's so good. That's so good.
Huge. And
because I bet there's plenty of comedians that, were working their way in their own platform trying, and then hit that level and are like, oh,
well, it's interesting. There's a lot of comedians that have reached out to Bert to say, I'm thinking about starting a podcast during this pandemic. And you're like, that's awesome. You should totally do that. Look at Doug.
My husband. Sock and leg. That's all you got working for you, honey.
I think he's flirting with you. I love him so much.
He wished he was funny and famous, and he just can't be. It just
he is funny. He's totally funny, just super deadpan.
He is deadpan, and so is my daughter. The deadpan. So you were just talking about your family and saying, you guys have gratitude and you go around and talk.
Yeah.
Okay, we tried that. It was successful for one night, and we learned that you can't really have that. At least in this household with an Aspie kid, because she, I hear her talking. She is the one who said, I'm grateful that I didn't die. I mean, she didn't say that, but Thanksgiving. And my husband would be the one when we're all trying to be like mindful and prayerful of like, we're so grateful. Can you just, my husband would go, pup dog farted on my lap this morning. I'm grateful for that. That's the level. You see, we just skim. We're skimmer. He's a skimmer. Boom, boom, boom.
Uncomfortable with the vulnerability of gratitude.
And anything else that means anything.
Maybe.
I was going to tell you too. Oh, a couple people ordered from you gave your, it's wife of the party, right? WOTP 20 was the code. WOTP 20 gave 20% off to anything they order I provide. So they can use it again. And I can extend it. Yeah. And I can extend it if you want to.
Well, whatever you want. It's your business. So I'll do it as long as you want. I'll keep posting. I'll try to post once a week. I've been posting in my stories a link.
Cool.
So I've been doing it for you. And I have another friend that makes handmade jewelry. I think you may have.
Oh, yeah. She's awesome. This right before all this happened. Yeah.
Yes. But do you have any of your products that you can show me, or just your
I have a hand sanitizer, and then, I do. Hold, please. Watch this thing like this. Hold on. Excuse me. You like that? That's how we roll. Okay. All I have, because I did not come prepared like a jackass. What I do have, which is my favorite thing to do and have. Oh yeah. Okay. So I have excuse me. We have our toner. This is so good. I was going to spray it.
Why do you use a toner? What is that?
Hold on. I almost sprayed it with my glasses on. That would have been hot. Okay. The toner is great to, one, bring your skin back to its pH balance. And there's pH balance in skin is important so that you don't have too much, so you break out, or too little, so you break out. And basically it's the level your skin needs to be to absorb oils, or to absorb when you exfoliate. You would tone afterwards because you're wanting to have your skin prepped and ready for the serum you're going to put on, or your moisturizer. It's really it's a way to have a catalyst to help get that oil into your skin.
Right.
And so it brings your pH at the proper level. And so ours is called Gentle Mineral Toner, and has rose quartz in it, because we have a little bit of rose quartz in there, and it smells delicious. People also use this as a primer, a face setting. If you have makeup on and you spray a little bit, it helps hydrate your skin, so then it sets your makeup. So I've used that for that before. So yeah, you want to cleanse your face. Obviously, you want to remove your eye makeup and lipstick. And so you use eye makeup remover. And we have one botanical eye makeup remover, which to me, eye makeup remover is one of the most underspoken about. And it's the stepchild of skincare. And it's the most amazing thing, because when you wear mascara, you need to use something to get those off, to break down that material. So I think ours I love it. And I've been using it for 15 years now. So eye makeup remover, when you wash your face, and when you wash your face, a lot of times people are afraid of oil. I've even used a little bit of our antioxidant repair oil with our cleanser, because oil actually helps break down any makeup on your face. You see how people have like a facial oil cleanser. That's where that came from. And then, you want to exfoliate the skin, because that's going to help get rid of the top layer, the dermis. So that's when we look crepey. As we get older, we get drier or even more oily. Most women get drier in patches. Most people are T-zoning, So that's where my oil, that as you get older too, your pores get huge. I don't know what this is. It's genetic disposition, but my mom's pores are big. Mine are big. And so when you exfoliate, it'll actually help get rid of the dirt or oil that's inside your pores. Wow. It's almost like helping you get rid of blackheads and things like that. It tightens up those. So then you put a serum on, or you put on your favorite moisturizer. I use both. I usually use this is our anti-aging face and body oil. This thing, to me is like gold in a bottle, because or spa in a bottle, if you will, because it's got carrot oil, which mimics the skin, but also is extremely powerful of keratin. It's delicious, vitamin A. It's really yummy, vitamin C. And I think that vitamins in your skin really help it have its elasticity, cellular renewal. All those buzzwords are real words. And it has rose and ylang ylang. So on a aromatherapy part of it, it actually is healing for many things, not only the skin, but hormonally for women. It helps with any type of outbreaks that you have on your skin. So I find the more I can moisturize, the better. And so I love it. And I love to smell spa because it makes me, our olfactory is our number one sense. It can smell like a lavender hand cream, and it can take you back to like your mom's favorite, or your grandmother used to use this. And so, or you smell a birthday cake, the buttercream, and it takes you back to your childhood. So there's things like that. Spa has that kind of sense memory for people. And I have that in our products because I've been using them for so long and helped create them. So so that's what we just focus on, affordable luxury, if you will, for skincare. And we put them in all of our spas. It is. We're due for a price increase. We were supposed to be increasing it in May. We didn't. And it was going to be a semi-significant because our prices have gone up. I mean, this bottle has gone up 3 times the value. They're from Italy, and the shipping alone has gone up 20-30%. So we're going to have to increase our prices, but only a few items will go up crazy because of we're at a loss now on certain items, but the rest is just across the board. It's been 7 years since we price increased. It's time, but you don't want to do it in the middle of a pandemic and an economic meltdown of the society. Don't want to piss off the people that we at least are able to serve. But we're also donating we pivoted our company to make it essential so that we could get sanitizer out to the community. We're selling 2 ounce for $6.95. It's the FDA approved formula and regulated. It's 80% ethyl alcohol. It's got glycerin, hydrogen peroxide, and purified water. That's it. 4 ingredients. It doesn't smell like what you think spa smells like. Add your own lavender oil on it because it's non-sterile, meaning that's not medical grade for them. They can do their own. But we just donated to my friend who is in the reserves. She's a nurse and she's in the reserves of the Army. She just got sent to Phoenix to work in the COVID ICU. And so I sent her a care package to give that team of nurses. Awesome. So she just got it. So we're going to get some pictures in from her to share on social. But, it's stuff like that. Nursing homes, we're donating some hand sanitizer. We've got gallons that we're selling. It's just for us, it's about how do you give back, but also sustain at the same time and make sure people know that you're trying to do everything you can to be relevant and help people. We were selling it to the Biltmore estate here. The Biltmore estate bought our sanitizer since we're local, and we're selling it to them in 55-gallon drums.
Wow.
Our Kessler collection is our hotel partner that the Poseidon spas are in, and we have 7 of those. And they just bought 108 gallons because they need it for all of their hotels. Yeah. And they could go anywhere else and get it, but they're trying to support their local vendor, which is us. So, trying to do stuff you can't, but it's things like that cause the exhaustion in the brain, right? It's Yeah. So that's what we're doing. And we sell it right now on our website, provai.com. And, but if you use PRIVAI.com.
That's it.
It's probably back. It's probably reflecting, and it's probably backwards.
No, it's not.
No, it isn't.
Nope, okay. It's not. No, I can read Leanne Rhymes. So if I can read Leanne Rhymes, I can read Provide, right?
Oh yeah. That was the album.
The gold album. Whatever.
Yeah, it is. It's my one thing.
Well, I'm going to go online. I have to apologize to you publicly. I haven't bought your products in a long time. I think when I first found out about it 15 years ago, I think I had to send you an email with what I wanted.
You did back in the day.
It was too labor intensive for me. And I was like, I can't do this. I don't have time. I have 2 kids. I can't email. I need this. I don't even know what it's called. I don't even use this. Well, I tell you, 2 years ago, this is one way we are very opposite. 2 years ago, I went, maybe I should start taking care of my skin. I mean, I am 47. Maybe I should start putting some shit on my face.
Oh, so you're so funny. You haven't needed to, Miss Sally.
I clearly did need to, and now I'm paying the price now for not doing it ever. But I I am sorry that I've never bought your product since the very beginning. So
listen, girl, you are a rock star in general, and I just love having you. I love our talks. They make me happy. This is like light up of my 2 months, 3 months, maybe 5 months since I last saw you. Shit. No, but I appreciate it. And I'm just so, like I told you last time, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so grateful that you reach a lot of people, especially women who want to laugh too and want to talk about things they understand and know. And, I'm inspired by it. I told you, I would, and Bert made comments about me that were so lovely, and it just filled my heart, cause I don't talk, you kind of, when you're an owner of businesses, my business partner and I are the ones who give each other atta girls, right? Or that pat you on the back. You have to pat yourself a lot, and that can become weird and self-deprecating at the same time. You can be like, oh, you're so great. Oh, you're so great. You can really, because I'm always still an artist inside. I'm always got that artist person in me that will second guess. Is it good? Is it not good? And Bert and I have a lot in common in that way. And it just, I love that we have such a great laugh together, and the friendship is always, it's like I didn't miss a beat. It's like I'm right there with you all the time.
It's so true. I know. I'm so glad that you, when you bought the spas in California, you said, hey, let's go out. I really miss that. I'm sorry I missed you the last time you were here. I didn't know that we were about to be in quarantine. I wouldn't be able to
Did any of us
for a year. But I don't know what's going on. But when you were here, I absolutely just couldn't do it. When you
sometimes I come quick. I'm like, I'm in and I'm out. And so, but you're always there when I need you. So I appreciate it.
Well, I feel the same about you. You're a very unique, wonderful person. You have a pure heart. You, what you see is what you get. And I appreciate that more than anything ever. I had rather have you say Trump is the best human walking the planet. And I think Satan is probably real also. So, and that's who I am. And then I go, okay, I know who I'm dealing with. Totally.
You know what you're dealing with.
I know what I'm dealing with. I'd rather that than someone who pretends to be something that they're not.
True.
That's the one thing. That's the reason I think that you and I have been friends for so long.
Yeah, because you're like that. What you see is what you get.
Too. I have nothing to hide. Why would I hide something? Just makes things more complicated.
100%. Like, I'm not going to pussyfoot around something. And I was recently on a call. I put together this like Asheville spa ownership kind of group so we could talk openly, because these are women. Some of them are women, and they have their thoughts about me as an LA girl coming in here and open up spas. There was some stuff back in the day, years ago, they thought I didn't kind of deserve. There was an air of like, who do you think you are? A long time ago. And they just didn't know me. And so they finally, for the first time, got to see me, and we talked, and I said, hey, listen, I can be polarizing. I know that I can be, you love me or you hate me, but I don't care. Like, my goal is this: how do we help each other? How do we move forward? Yeah. What can I do for you? I gave them a list of, here's some protective equipment that I'm quoting, and we're a bigger company, so I can get better discount. Like, let's get rid of the bullshit. Who has time for that? Right. I'm too busy going trying to make it happen. Yeah. And so I think hopefully that helps when you can be real with people. And I do think for me, I've been so nose down in business for so many years, and my business partner was my best friend. And then when she moved, it was a void there. And now, my husband says, you've come to the right side. I've brought you over to the dark side of like, don't having friendship. And I went, yeah. And it's a lonely, awful, cold room. And I would rather have friends.
Oh, you're a highly social person. You've always been very social. You've always been that way. So
he has made me not so much, because that's just, he doesn't need that. He doesn't crave that.
And I do. That at all.
Matter of fact, it would be dead.
9:30. I'm going to bed, guys. See you later.
Are you kidding? Hold on. That would be someone mindful that he's going to tell you. He would just be like this. And
leave. We'd be going up the stairs. And we go, well, where are you going? We're in the middle of a Pictionary game.
He would touch the walls. He would go like, oh, what's that? Yeah. You're like, you built the wall. You don't know what's in it? Oh my God. That's who I married. And it does make me go, interesting that's who I was attracted to. How did that work? How did that turn out?
That is really interesting, because I married a combination of my parents. And I go, why the fuck would I do that? I'm in therapy for 25 years because of my parents. And then I went, I think I'll marry that shit. Yeah, let's bring that on. Let's do that again.
I want more stress. I want more problems. But it's weird. I think we are gluttons. I think we love it. I think we deep down crave it. You get what
it is that's what you understand love to be. That's what you understand love to be. Giving and receiving love, that's what you understand. So you recognize it and you go, oh, that's love.
Right.
And then you get into that and then you go, why the fuck would I do that? I mean, how do
I fix that?
Yeah, I'm happily married. Don't get me wrong. But there are times when I get enough, where I go, why the fuck would I marry someone who would talk to me like that ever?
Of course, ever. Because I would never do that to you. And inside, that's just, But here's what I've learned too. It's that he trusts you enough in your marriage that he had his explosion in the way he knows to do it. Because he probably went back in his own little, immaturity level, right? Because that's what they do. And
totally.
And my husband has done that. He's actually said to me, like, if you just shut the fuck up. And I went, you realize that if anyone else said it to me, I'd be putting them 6 feet under. Okay, I'd take you the fuck out. I'd choke you from behind. I'd armbar you. I would do something to make you null and void of feelings, like this neck down and paralyze you. Shut your mouth. Don't ever. But I don't. I look at you and go, that hurts my feelings that you would ever say that. Inside, I literally see the octagon. Like I see it and I want to super fly, swing around your neck and scissor kick you and take your balls and put them in your mouth and make you eat them and dangle. I'll let you teabag yourself.
Right. Totally. You can see the
take that one.
Okay, here comes the boss again. Yes. I don't know why he came in here.
Bert, I just said something that I thought you'd appreciate. I said that if can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I said that if Doug has said some stuff to me before where I literally wanted to go, like he said, shut the fuck up before. And I've looked at him and inside my head, I saw myself literally suplexing him, taking him down, choking him from behind. I said, taking his balls and feeding them to him and teabagging himself. Okay. Right. Literally, that's what I want to do. Instead, I go, I can't believe you hurt my feelings. That made me hurt really bad when you said it to me. And inside, I literally see him going, totally. And when I said that, I could see you actually saying that, going,
Enough.
Oh, I heard all about enough. You better watch that finger.
You figured I told her about enough. It had to be talked about.
He's going to shove that finger somewhere else.
Enough. Well, I'm going online to provide.com and ordering one of each so I can try it all.
Well, don't do that. Yeah, you should ask, why don't I figure out what would be good for you so that you don't have to do that?
Well, that would be too smart. But I'm over it because what I want to do is, instead of having this post this week, which is what I usually do, is wait and get your products. So in my introduction, I can go through what they are. Because I'll have them and I'll say, I use this and this is what this is. And do you see what I mean?
Got it. Yeah. Well, then I should write you out kind of a prescription of what your skin.
Like today. So I can order it today.
You got it. I'll write you. Awesome. I will write you because you don't have any pores. I know. I've never seen them on your face ever. Your nose is like tiny little nose with no pores. Little fucker.
I don't know about that.
But you have anti-aging that you want to focus on, and you tend to have dry skin.
I have dry skin.
Yeah.
What I use now is a basic cleanser and a facial oil, and then I put moisturizer on top of it.
That's perfect. You just need to exfoliate.
It's not enough.
Yeah. No, you need to do oil plus. And honestly, if you're really dry, you should try I'll get you the Ultra Restore cream because that is, you need there's a lighter moisturizer, which has anti-aging, tightening kind of toning, helps with any kind of fine lines and wrinkles, has coenzyme Q10, shit like that. But then we have Ultra Restore, which has 7 oils in it. It's thick. It's in a jar because it's that thick. That kind of stuff is when your skin it's the nighttime. That's what you want at night. Right. And the daytime, you want something a little lighter. And you're a gentle foaming cleanser, gentle. I even think for your skin, do you get rosacea ever? Mm-mm. You don't ever get and you're not allergic to salicylic acid or anything like that? Our rice flour polish is an incredible exfoliant. And I would try a little patch test, just doing a little bit to make sure you don't have any reaction because it activates like a peel when you put water on it. Oh yeah, it literally polishes
I'm excited.
All right. So I'll email you kind of what you can get. Make sure you use your coupon code though.
I'm not using my coupon code.
Use your coupon code.
I'm not.
So
that's for my people listening. That's not for me. It's the same reason I can't ethically do that. I do that with Amazon and those people, with the big people, but I'm not doing that with my small business. No way. I mean, Natalie said the same thing. Make sure you put the code in. I'm like, no, that's not the point. I can afford to pay full price, and I should. So,
well, we love you. That's awesome.
But yeah, write me that prescription. I'm super excited to get it.
I will. Well, I love you dearly. Please give everyone hugs and kisses. I hope I can come
FaceTime our families. We should do our families.
Listen, family needs friends. You know that. Maybe Isla and Georgia and Avery would all get along really well over FaceTime. Oh no, my daughter. She'd be like, what? I don't know my face.
Know them. I mean, I haven't seen them in like 8 years.
You keep saying that I knew them. I don't remember.
It was me and you and Bert and Doug. It'll be so fun. We should do that.
Your wedding. Oh my God. You were pregnant and I was pregnant, but no one saw mine yet. You had just popped out. Oh my God.
I know. And Doug filmed. I will never forget Doug filming Lorenzo eating. He just kept cutting to Lorenzo eating and then Lorenzo eating and then Lorenzo eating. And it looked like Lorenzo ate for 20 minutes.
Forever.
Oh my God. It was so funny.
My favorite. That was the best. Then the Krispy Kreme donuts.
Love you.
I love you
very much. And I love
You're
Doug.
The best.
And tell Doug I love him.
I will tell him. And you just make sure you don't be a stranger, and make sure that keep me posted that you guys are healthy and safe and all that good stuff.
Same here.
When I can come to LA, I will see you again soon.
That sounds good. I know. I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you.
Bye, Austin.